Hey folks, in our first video, we showed you some of the core concepts of Fabi and how to get started. We showed you how to connect to your data source or upload a file and query it and then analyze it using Python. And in this short tutorial, we're going to show you how to then take that analysis and convert it to an interactive report or dashboard or even a workflow and push that to say Google Sheets or Slack, for example. So in this tutorial, we're going to focus on this analysis right here that I've already pre-built. It's simply looking at some NBA data, player data, and you can see here that we have a little text blurb at the top that kind of explains what we're doing in this analysis. We have a table field here. We even have this radar plot here that we've generated using some basic math to kind of score players according to certain criteria. This is fully interactive, so I can, for example, remove players, update the filter, and it will update the chart here. We of course have all sorts of different chart types. We even have the scatter plot that shows us the average points scored by player by season versus their defensive rebound percentage, with some basic stats packages used to identify outliers along both axes. So let's go ahead and take a look at how we built this. Under the hood behind this report is a smart book. Again, if you're starting with this blank smart book, you probably just want to start by writing a SQL query and pulling your data in or uploading a file. What we've done here is at the very top, we have our description. And then the first thing that we've done is we have queried our data source here. It's the player stats, just simple select star, and it's pulling all our data and our stats by season. And it's storing it here as a Python data frame called data frame 1. Now, I'm going to skip over this input filters for a second. I'm just going to go down to Python cell 3 here. So in Python cell 3, what I did was I asked the AI, and I'm not going to talk too much about the AI in this video. We do have a video specifically focused on that. But what we've done here for this report is we've asked the AI to create this radar plot here and score the players according to on certain axes like points scored, rebounds, and then normalize that score on a scale of 1 to 10. And so the AI actually wrote this entire script for me, and it generated this plot that we're seeing here. So this is it's all Python, and it's all fully interactive. You can use different charting libraries. I like using Plotly just because generally it looks pretty good out of the box. It's also interactive, fairly performant. And but I do want to show you how to then make this interactive and turn this into something that you can filter on. So again, going back to let me go back here. Going back here in this report, I do have we do have like a drop down where I can select players. So the way I did that was I asked the AI to create a way to filter the radar plot on a list of players. And as a matter of fact, let me see if I can find what it generated for us here, and I'll show you. Let me I did a few more things after that one. So let me scroll back up here. Okay. So here what it did is it created this, let me just expand this a little bit. It created this extra line here where it added in placeholders for player names. LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry. And then what I did was I simply replaced that with this variable called select players. And then to make this dynamic, what I did is I went above here and I inserted a new cell and I inserted a filter and inputs. And I picked, there's a few different options here. So you can add number drop downs and sliders. You can add Boolean, true, false, toggles, date ranges, even plain text, or you can add a pick list, which is like a list, drop down list, which is what we created here. So I'll show you how we did that. I simply click on pick list. And here's where you can input your variable name. So in this case, we had said selected players. As a matter of fact, rather than do this, I'm just going to show you how to go. Let's go back to the edit filters here where I've already created this. So the variable name is selected players. The description is simply what the business user, whoever is consuming the report, is going to see in the UI. And here I've selected a dynamic list, meaning that the list in the dropdown is going to dynamically generate based off of the unique values in a field in a data frame above. in the SmartBook. And we're going to pick the data frame that we want to pick the field from, and then the field from that data frame. We're going to say allow multiple selections, so to make it a multi-pick list dropdown, and then that's it. And then what that'll do is it will go and look at the field, the player name field from the data frame above, and it will automatically generate this dropdown where I can now select players, and it will pass that variable down to this this cell here. And this is also fully reactive, so meaning that if I go ahead and update this, let's say I remove this player here and hit submit, it will know to rerun downstream because it knows there's a dependency between these two things. Now, what's nice is if I don't change a cell above, we will also, Fabi will also understand in the SmartBook that it doesn't need to rerun the cell above, so it will only rerun that cell and the cells below. So really there's like this intelligent sort of tracking mechanism to understand which variables are stale or not. That's also a great way to make sure that you don't have any state issues that are very classic to Jupyter notebooks. Now from here, you can create multiple cells. You can sort of chain them together or reference anything above. The order does matter in the SmartBook. It is important for you as you define a variable above or if you're going to use a variable, again, let's go back to this example of the selected players. This variable does need to be defined above the cell. But what doesn't matter is the order in the report. So now let's go talk about a report. So I've created this SmartBook here with the number of charts. I can create all sorts of other things. And I want to now convert this into a dashboard. I can simply come here, and I've already rearranged this. But when you first come, it'll simply look like a list of all the outputs that you've created. So for example, we can add this. And you can choose to, for example, resize here if you want. You can move things around. Or you can also hide elements. And the order and the size here doesn't matter in the report. So we really let you, again, we track the order of how things run behind the scenes in the SmartBook. So that means that you can rearrange things in any order you want. And here, for example, you can see that this radar plot is dependent on this table, and yet we still have them side by side here, and it will run no problem. Now, once you've selected your layout, you've selected which elements you do want to make available for your end user, you can come in here on the right-hand side in the configuration panel. You can schedule this to run at whatever cadence you want. You can also enable completely custom schedules if you want. You simply using AI to ask it to create a cron expression. And then when you publish it, it will create a unique static URL that you can share with anyone within your organization. They'll be able to come in and see the report and update the results. And there's also no conflict in states. So if someone comes in here and updates this radar plot to view the data the way they want it, it won't change it for someone else. You can also push data. You can use Python to push data, for example, to Slack or email. We also have a built-in connector to Google Sheets. So say, for example, we've done our analysis here of, let's go back up here maybe actually. Data frame 1, if you've done your analysis, any data frame, you can simply click on the 3 dots here and hit export to Google Sheets. And then just follow the instructions here, share this, the Google Sheet, give it edit rights to the service account, drop in the URL here along with the worksheet name, save and push the data, and it will automatically sync your data frame, your Python data frame from the SmartBook to your Google Sheet. And if you want to schedule it, you just publish a report with a schedule, and it will keep everything in sync. So there we go. That's how you build a report off of a SmartBook in Fabi, or how you schedule workflows between different systems.